How's she going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. I was working on a project last week and I had a little bit left to do on it, and it was the wings on my snow pusher mod. I just had to wait for the paint to dry, assemble them, so I put them on my tractor. And that was Thursday night. Last Thursday night. The Thursday night would have been the 1st of February, right? Okay, February 2nd shows up. It's Groundhog Day. Everybody knows about that. Chubanaki Sam here in Nova Scotia didn't see a shadow, so we figured, hey, that's great. You know, 6 more weeks, then we'll be into spring. That's great, 6 more weeks. But then, Friday, around 10 o'clock in the morning, it started to snow. And it snowed harder and harder and harder as the day went on, and it blew harder and harder and harder as the day went on. And then that was okay. I said I'll plow on Saturday and finish up making my little clip for my video for the snow pusher mod. And I apologize for the wind noise here because the wind's coming up again. Try to get somewhere out of the wind, but I can't. But anyway, yeah, that was Saturday. Well, it snowed like you never saw snow before on Saturday. Just nothing but snow, blowing snow. We had winds as high as 50, 60 kilometer an hour winds and gusts higher than that, and snow. I never saw so much snow. And then I said, well, I'm not going to plow today. Or I tried to plow on Saturday, but it was just useless, senseless. It was a crazy thing even to try to do that. But so I put the tractor away and got back in the camp and started editing my snow pusher mod video. And I said I'll get that plowed off tomorrow and finish my video. So then yesterday we woke up and it was worse. It was worse on Sunday than it was on Saturday. And it got worse throughout the day on Sunday. It was just terrible. It was just blowing every which way and still snowing. So here it is Monday morning, and I still haven't finished my snow pusher mod, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get that out in time or not, but I hope to get it done. I'm just going to go to the shop now and do a quick little video. I don't know that I'll be able to demonstrate it because we had a little bit of a snowstorm here on the weekend. But here it is Monday and it's still blowing like crazy, but at least the snow kind of stopped. There's just a few fluffies in the air now. It's hard to tell if that's snow coming down or snow blowing around. But anyway, we had, I bet you, over 3 feet of snow, and winds, like I say, gusts 60, 70, 80 kilometers an hour, and tons and tons and tons of snow. Now, we have some neighbors here on the lake that worked tirelessly since Friday night when all this started, right through all day Saturday, all day Sunday, beating back and forth to try to keep our lake road open in case we had to make like an emergency trip. Hopefully that didn't have to happen for anybody. But God bless all those guys that were working on the road. I wasn't one of them this year. Like I'm getting kind of too old for that. Wow, the wind is really coming up now. Wait till I hide in the corner here, see if this makes a difference. I don't know that it does. Yeah, can't get away from the wind. Just 1 sec, maybe down here. Hold on. If you get around the corner out of the wind, maybe it won't be so bad. But maybe it will, you never know, right? No, it's just as bad here. But anyway, so yeah, God love them for doing that. I wasn't able to help them, but the guy plowed the road for many years, so I'm going to let the young guys do it now. I just want to show you around the yard, just to kind of give you a glimpse of what it looks like here before I start to do some plowing. So I'm out here beside the Bronco right now. Yes, I'll just get around front here and show you. See, it says Bronco, so that is the Bronco. Kind of snowed in. Yeah. But you know, if you put that Bronco in 4-wheel drive, I bet you it'll just pull right out of there. The trouble is, it's got no place to go. Look at this. Now, I'm not sure, the camera's probably not going to do this justice. There's my little drift right there. It starts here at the edge of the step. Well, actually, it starts down by the fire pit. It goes from here, and I'm 5'10", and that's every bit of 4 feet high, that drift. And it stays about 4 feet high. Well, all the way to the far end of the landing, and that's about 100 feet away. And then, over here in front of the tractor shelter, you can see way over there, I got a big drift over there. I'll be able to get in the tractor shelter no problem because the door rolls up. Once I get in the tractor shelter, I can plow that drift away. That wouldn't be an issue, so I'll be able to get the tractor out, I think, pretty easily. Ooh, that wind. Apologize for that, but now, here's my ramp. I got a big drift at the end of the ramp. But I'll be able to get through that. Watch, I'm going to try and crawl through this now. Watch. Step over here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So that's where this big 4-foot high drift starts. There's another drift coming out through here. It's not too high here, it's only probably 2 feet deep. So I can walk through that. Oh yeah. Nothing to it. There, now we get over here out of the wind. That's a lot better. Okay. You know, they're comparing this to Hurricane Juan back in, I think it was 2008. We had Hurricane Juan come through. It was a snowstorm similar to this, but anyway, lots of snow. Now, I just want to show you around the corner here. There's my garage door. That's 4 feet high and rising. Back here, that's a stairway up to the lounge where I play darts. I'll be going up there tonight. But over back there you can see Nanny's greenhouse. But then there's these drifts. Now that drift, let me see. The deck on that stairway, the landing on that stairway there is probably 10 feet high. So that drift here is 9 feet deep. I'm glad my tractor shelter's not in back of that. So we got a little bit of snow, right? So I'm going to start doing a little bit of plowing. I'm not sure how exciting this will be because it's going to be just bashing to get through here. I'm going to try and punch a hole out to the road. But it's got to be done, right? So anyway, I don't have to go anywhere for the next couple of days. Well, I should go to town tomorrow, but I don't have to go to town. I don't have to go anywhere really. I'm lucky that way. We got a fridge full of food, a freezer full of food. But there's lots of folks that aren't as lucky as that, and they have to beat their way through this to get to work. But I don't have to do that. I'm lucky. So anyways, go on along while we do a little bit of heavy duty plowing. Well, I made it into the shelter. My shelter has a few snow leaks in it. This is the back of the shelter. Look at snow is all drifted in around there. Of course I have a hole in the floor back here. That's probably why that happened. But yeah, quite a bit of snow. But then around here at the front there was that drift right in front of the shelter, and it blew in under the door, probably because of that hole at the back, allowing the air to pass through. So like a little bit of shoveling to do here before I can even start the tractor. But it shouldn't be so bad going. It won't be easy, mind you, but so I'll set you there and you can watch me shovel. This won't be nearly as much fun as watching me plow. The snow is wet, sticky, heavy today. I hope it blows good because I have to blow it. Sticking to my shovel, that ain't good a sign. Boys, you know you got a lot of snow, eh, when you have to shovel out your tractor, shovel out your snowplow. This is what they call heart attack snow. It's heavy. Alright, I got the front of the tractor shoveled out a bit. Now let's see if we can start it. Neutral, neutral, neutral. Glow plugs. Throttle. More glow plugs. More throttle. So while the tractor warms up a bit, I'm going to take a break too because that shovel was hard on the road, guys. Alright, so we're getting ready to start plowing now after getting the front shoveled out a little bit. This was a major big snowfall, boys, I'm telling you, and the snow was wet and sticky. And I started plowing just because I had backed the tractor in the shelter, but to push the snow with the blade just didn't make sense. It was way too deep, and the snow would just roll over top of the blade. Wouldn't make any headway at all. So my normal procedure of coming out and pushing snow right straight across over beside the Bronco, that's out the window for this storm because the 4-foot drift right there, no way I could get through it. So I'm just kind of jigging around here to make a spot so I can get the tractor turned around, because we're going to blow this snow away today. Just plowing is not working. But I make a couple of cuts here just to get some room, like I say, so I can maneuver the tractor to get turned around and use the blower. It was quite the storm, boys, I'm telling you. It started snowing, like I was saying, on Friday night, and blowing. And it just blew all day Saturday and snowed, and then it was worse on Sunday. I never saw anything like it all the time I've been out there. But we didn't lose the power, amazingly. With all the high winds and the heavy wet snow, we didn't lose the power. That was kind of like a miracle. This drift right here is probably 4 feet for sure. You can see how that snow is packing there, eh? Like it's not fluffy, powdery snow. And it was also sticking to the blade, and that wasn't good. I don't like plowing when snow sticks in the blade. It just makes a messy job. But yeah, that's the snow. No, I like the snow. I like the winters. I like plowing. I like the cold. But I don't like getting 3 and 4 feet of snow all at once. Okay, so we're going to turn around here. Put it back into the shelter, and I'm going to change the camera around. The camera in the back of the tractor so we can see the snowblower end of the tractor, and we're going to start to blow the rest of the job. I'm going to just do a little bit on the lining there, and then I'm going to blow up the lane because we want to make sure we can get out. One thing with my tractor, for the snowblower to be at its most efficient, you have to run it at about 2200 RPM, run the engine 2200 RPM. And when you do that, the snowblower works great, but you still have to go slow. Like you see how slow I'm going into that snow there because it's so deep and heavy. So what happens is you have the tractor running at a high RPM, a high speed, but you're going slow. You're not making a lot of progress. So consequently, when I'm blowing, especially in deep snow like this, I use a lot of fuel when I'm cleaning. I say a lot. I think I filled the tank up, and I went all day with it here, and I probably burnt, well, probably more than a quarter, but not a half a tank. But I could have plowed, several times if it was 3 or 4 inches snow down. I could have plowed several times on that quarter tank of fuel. But with the blower, the high RPM and going slow, yeah, it likes its fuel then. So here we go. This is a long old push out the lane here. The snow for the most part was 20 inches deep anyways, because the top of my blower there is 20 inches high, the fins on the blower. And there's lots of places where it's over top of that, but most places it's not quite up to the top edge of the fin on the blower. And that's just as fast as you can go, right? I mean, you can't overload the blower or install the tractor or shoot the plug up. So you just have to go slow. Nice relaxing tractor job, other than you have to turn around. Here's another thing I'd like to tell you about. I put a rear view camera in the tractor a couple of years ago, hoping that it was going to help, especially with the snow blowing. And last winter I never used the blower, one time last winter, but now this winter I've had the blower out a couple of different times. And I just want to say that the rear view camera doesn't work too good. for a couple of reasons. First of all, the depth perception on it is not great, so I can't really see as well as I'd like to see when I'm using the blower. So it's no good that way. And the other thing is, when it's bright out, there's a glare that comes off the camera. Now that just may be the camera's fault, maybe my monitor's fault, I'm not sure what, but there's a glare comes off it, so it makes it really hard to see and discern anything in the monitor of the rear view camera. So the camera works good for a rear view mirror, and I use it a lot for backing up. Like in the summertime, it's good, you can see good, and I can back up good with it. But I was sort of hoping it was going to work good with the blower, so that I didn't have to be twisted around in the seat all the time I'm blowing. Because right now I'm turned sideways in my seat, plus my upper torso is twisted again about, well, I was going to say 90 degrees, but it won't twist 90 degrees. But it's twisted around quite a bit. And like you see here, it's slow going. It's straining on the neck, like I'm always looking over my shoulder, or my shoulder's twisted and turned. And you know, after 20-30 minutes, something like that, you get kind of stiff, especially as we mature in age. So what I'm doing here is I made the one cut through there, and I went down, well, you saw how far you went, and then I come back and I just make that wider. Because another issue I have with my snowblower, I call it an issue, it's not really an issue. One of the, idiosyncrasies, I guess, there's a big word, of using the blower is 48 inches wide. The plow in the front of the tractor is 60 inches wide. So when I angle the plow, then the plow is just about 48 inches wide. So the cut I make with the blower is wide enough so that if I have my blade angled, I can back down there, no problem. But if I have to turn the tractor, like if I'm plowing and have to go around a corner, then as I turn, the blade swings out into the unplowed snow, and it hooks onto the snow and bogs the tractor down. So what happens is, I'll make one cut about 10-15 feet, then I'll go back and make another cut beside that to make the path wider, so that I can maneuver the tractor a little bit without the blade digging into the unplowed snow. If you could follow all that. There's a neighbor on the lake, one of the guys that was working so hard all weekend keeping the road clear for us. Excuse me. He's got a green tractor. But anyways, he has a blower on the back of his, but the blade he has on the front of his tractor goes on his bucket arms, because he has a quick attach bucket. So he takes his bucket off and puts his blade on. So when he's plowing like this with his snow blower, backing up, he can raise his blade above the snow, and then he can maneuver a lot better because the blade doesn't dig in. So I don't have that option to raise the bucket up above the snow. So I have to deal with the blade digging in if I make a turn. And like that, I make it sound like that's bad. That's not really a big deal. Once you know that's what happens, you just you work with that and you deal with that. It's a non-issue after a bit, right? But I often thought it would be nice if I had a quick attach bucket, but I don't, so I only think about that every now and then, not very often. So anyway, as I'm pushing down through here, this is just how I clean the whole lane. You just do a little push, and you come back, do another little push, move to the side, do another little push. It was hard going, slow going, not hard going, but slow going, because the snow was blowing good. But that's the way it was in the lane the whole way in and out, or the whole way out. So now I skipped ahead here because we're getting out near the road here. This is where the snowbank is, where the guys were working all weekend plowing the road to keep the road open. And they made a snowbank, of course, and it's hard packed snow, so it's hard going in here. And what happens with the snowblower, because there's no down pressure on the 3-point hitch in my tractor, when it hits hard snow, they tend to kind of rise up, float on top of the snow. So I have to make several back and forth trips here to try to get down to grade, clear that snow away. And again, that's just one of those things about the snowblower, that's the way the snowblower works, so that's the way you deal with it, just like that. It's not really a problem after a while. And one of the other things I'm going to do here is, as I plow into the snow, I'll go as far as I can till the wheels start to spin, then it'll come ahead and go back into it again. But there's going to be a point here I'm not exactly sure where it is, but just one sec here. There. I just raised the snowblower up there about 4 or 6 inches. Then I'm moving into the bank now to take the top part off. Now we come ahead, drop the blower down to grade, and now take the bottom off. So I'm taking the snow away in stages. This makes it easier for the blower to clear the snow. So I push in there, that's about as far as I can go. So I raise the blower. Well, I'm going to clear that out again because clear the snow that falls off the bank. And now I'm going to raise the blower again here, just a couple inches off grade, and then plow the top off the bank, and then I'll come through, lower it to grade, and then plow right through, and lo and behold, poof, we made her through the snow. And the poor guys plowing the road, God love them, they did an awful good job, but you know, the road's only 1 lane wide, and I'm not blaming them for that. That's great that they were able to get it to 1 lane. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going across the road. I'm going to plow a little spot across the road here so I can get the tractor turned around, and then I'm going to go back in and blow the other side of the lane on the way in so that it'll be wide enough to get the Bronco out. And just as soon as I get straightened away here and turned around, the battery goes dead in my camera. So I don't get to see, or you don't get to see me plowing the second half of the driveway. But it was just like the first half, just run into it, back up, run into it, back up, run into it, back up, hurt in the neck, but we got it out. Man, oh man, that was hard going, eh? Getting through this big snow drift right here in the landing. Then going down the lane wasn't so bad because it kind of drifts not too deep in the landing. But then up at the road, it got real, the drift was deep, and then of course the snowbank there from the buddies plowing the road, which I'm thankful for. I'm glad they were trying to beat the hole in the road there so we can get out if we had to. Pretty tough going. And then I just got to the road and the battery died in the camera, so that's as far as I went. But after I finished that, I turned around and come back and made another cut back in, so the path going out to the road now is just wide enough to get the car down. And have to do some work here in the landing to finish clearing that off, but that'll be in another video because that's it for me today. I might come out tonight and do the landing, we'll see. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think of all our snow. It's good fun, eh, if you were a kid. Take care, folks, and we'll talk to you soon.